Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. This is your weekend sales update. A pretty decent weekend. 14 sales between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to talk about. Nothing terribly high dollar, but certainly some fun, interesting sales to rattle through. For anybody interested in the cross-list update, the cross-listing platform I talked about last weekend, only one sale throughout the week. Last week, and it was on Poshmark, and then one throughout the weekend also on Poshmark. But I did get 5-star reviews from all 8 of my sales last weekend between Mercari and Vinted, so hopefully that will help get some more sales on those platforms going forward. But let's rattle through them. First off, on Friday, we had 6 sales on Friday. First was a Learning to Sequence. This is a kids' games. Basically putting cards in order of how they would happen. Little kids learning game. I got this at Goodwill. I never really pick up things at Goodwill, but sometimes I search for things for my kids, and every once in a while I'll find something. I grabbed this for $3 at Goodwill, and it sold for $14 going to Catababy, California. Then, what do we got next? Oh, look at these. These are gold decorative fruits. I think they're made of a hard cork or a very lightweight wood, maybe. I think they're cork. These I got at a garage sale. So in a Fenton white decorative bowl. These were placed in the bowl. I was really interested in the bowl, but of course it came with the fruit inside. I sold them separately. I sold the Fenton bowl quite a while ago. I paid $5 for the bowl with the fruit. The Fenton bowl sold for, I think, around $20. And then the fruit sold for $10. So look at that. That's a fun. Those are by Williams-Sonoma. Just decorative fruits, and they're very pretty. There is one flaw on one of the pears. That gosh darn pear got a little brewski on the bottom. Next up, we always got to shout out the longest listed item that sold over the weekend, and that goes to these. I dislike selling shoes, and these ones were listed for 13 months, folks. That's over a year these took to sell. I got them for 50 cents at an estate sale, and they sold for, eventually, I accepted an offer for $5. Let's get them out of here. I am not going to be focusing on shoes this upcoming sourcing season with garage sales. I just don't like taking pictures of them and cleaning them and unless they're new in the box, then maybe I will take a gander. And then we had some Aeropostale shorts. Aeropostale, not nearly as sought after as like Abercrombie and Fitch and even American Eagle for the Y2K era stuff, but these still sold for $4 going to Newburgh, Indiana. Shout out Papa Mike for cleaning out his closet. My father-in-law. That is where those came from. And our final eBay sale of Friday was this Bible audiobook. It is a 12 cassette audiobook of the Bible, New Testament, 12 cassettes, King James Version, narrated by Alexander Scorby. New and sealed. This is really 1974. 1974 sealed 12 cassette audiobook of the Bible. It sold for $28. I got that for $2 at a garage sale. That's headed to Urbandale, Iowa. That's my home state. And our final sale of Friday did not happen on eBay. It was our one cross-list sale of the weekend, and it happened on Poshmark. And it was a set of Raydon heart-themed canisters. Shout out our friend Rachel for helping me out with a donation of her former Raydon obsession. There was a lot of it. I only listed, I think, 4 listings of the Raydon stuff. I set the rest aside because the rest fit on a shelf, and what didn't fit, I listed right away, and I sold some on my kitchen show on Dibit a couple weeks ago, and that was the first Buy It Now listing that sold. Again, I only made like 4 listings, so that one sold on Poshmark for $15. Not sure where it's going because I haven't printed that label yet. Then we skidoo right on into Saturday, and we have 3 sales only on Saturday, all on eBay. First up, a pair of Lincoln's sneakers. These are a pair of toddler Adidas size 7. His clodhoppers grow so fast. He is now in 9s, I think. Yes, well, 8s or 9s, depending on which they are, fit him, but he is flying through these shoes. I think we got these either at a thrift store or garage sale. I'm not sure, but we did. I think I ended up selling them for more for sure. These sold for $13. I know we didn't pay $13 for them, but he got some good use out of them probably last summer. They are going to Bellevue, Nebraska. Then we have our best sale of the weekend. Look at this. I'm selling guns now, folks. Don't worry, it's a cap gun. This is a Tootsie Toy American West Dakota cap gun, shotgun rifle. Caps are not included, but it is, as you can see, new from 2005. This sold for $44. Scary fast overnight. So I have a second one, and I'm going to list that one higher. This one, so the thing with this was when I was comping them, 2 of these from the 90s, so about 10 years earlier, sold for about $60. And the only one that was from this line, it wasn't the Dakota, but it was one that was basically the exact same thing, just with a different name, but it was from the same American West series from the same year, was listed for $44, and it wasn't selling, and so I listed mine for $44. Perhaps my shipping was cheaper, but it sold very quickly, and it is going to Dixon, Illinois. I'll probably might list my other one up into at least the 50s, because that one sold quick. And who's in a rush to get rid of a cap gun? That's just something fun to have on the inventory. Next up, I got that at the Ben Franklin General Store buy. Again, I'm still rattling through listing those items for that huge buy. And we're almost to the break-even point, but I have so much still to list and so much has duplicates. We'll get into a couple more of those sales. Like right here, a Godzilla Biter Writer pen. This one sold for $10, going to Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Now these Godzilla pens, this is my 5th sale of the Godzilla pens. I got these in a box. There were 25 or 20, between 25 and 30 of these Godzilla pens, and also about 15 like 1980s dinosaurs, and those were on top. But I got the whole box for $5. The dinosaurs haven't sold yet, but they are listed. The Godzilla pens are lotted up in listings of 1 through, I think, 4, and then I still have some on backup. This one sold for $10. So pretty good already, well into the profit just on that one box. That wraps up Saturday. Just 3 sales on Saturday, but they were interesting ones. And then we got into Sunday. Some of these are some lower dollar sales, but we'll go through them here. First off, I struggle with modern day fan shop items. Vintage fan shop, easy. Modern day, pretty difficult. This is I thought Nike would help this. It is fitted. It is a Nike Chicago Cubs hat. I got paid $2 for this. This sold for $5, and it's going to Baltimore, Maryland. So not a good flip there. It also has a spot of discoloration up there, which of course didn't help the sale. Then we have, speaking of the Ben Franklin store, does anybody need any Tootsie Toy keychains? Because I have over 60 of these. So here's how I handled these. I made listings of bundles 1 through 6. You can buy them single or in lots of up to 6 for different price points and whatnot. I know you can fiddle around with eBay, but this is for cross-listing purposes. I did that. And then I just have a bucket so I sold these 3. This bundle of 3 sold for $13 going to Baltimore, Maryland. So yeah, I'll just relist the bundle of 3, grab 3 more and set them in the listed pile. I got all 60 of these for $5, so these should end up doing pretty well. If you just want one, I have them listed for about $6. Of course, I accept offers. And then I'm not sure what I have them listed up to, about 6. Each tier, of course, is a better savings. Next up, we have another not great flip. I thought this was going to be older than it was. This is a Case t-shirt. It is from 2005, which is on the older side, but not old enough to just fully dismiss the discoloration around the neckline. I did pay $2 for this. I was buying a bunch of vintage shirts, most of which were from the 90s and single stitch, and they were all $2. I grabbed this one as well. I think this is I might have one more Sturgis tank top. But this only sold for $5, and it's headed to Rockford, Illinois. Or I'm sorry, this is going to Goodyear, Arizona. Next up, I purchased one from one show on Whatnot all year. I don't know what I had some downtime. I was on Whatnot. This person was running great stuff, didn't have a great audience, so I got a handful of things, mostly pocket knives and some die-cast cars. This one I got for $6 from him. It sold for $20. I got two more similar ones that are worth a little bit more. One's around the same, about $25. The other one's up around $40. I think I got each of them between $5 and $6 a piece. So that's the first to sell. That's going to A-Line, Oklahoma. But yeah, I used to do a lot of sourcing on dibbit.com, but very rarely opened up Whatnot, and I don't know what made me that day, but I got some cool cars for it. And our last sale of the weekend, 5 sales on Sunday, this is the last one, is an article of my boys' clothing. This is a Burt's Bees size 18-month sleeper. I sold one over on Dibdit, and this is the second one. This one sold for $4 and going to Galena, Missouri. What was your favorite sale of the weekend? Probably the cap gun, but it's not going to be my favorite to ship, I will tell you that. I like the Godzilla pen, and I like that I'm selling these already. I just listed these, and we're already into the profit, and I have more than 50 left, so that's going to be kind of fun. I don't really ever have that much of a multi-quantity listing. That's definitely new for me. But let me know what your favorite is. And tomorrow we will chat about what we sourced this past week. We got some consignment. We got some donation. We got some live auction Dibdit sourcing. And we have some garage sales to talk about. We're not going to talk to them. We'll talk about them, though, and we'll do that within the next day or two. So I'll see you very shortly.